Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Talktor Who. Was that a little loud for you?
It was a little sudden.
Sorry about that. Today we are talking about The Long Game, which is the 7th episode? 5th? 6th? One of the episodes. Yeah. Seventh episode. It was written by Russell T. Davis.
Woo!
Your homeboy.
Roman numeral.
My man.
Your homeboy. All right, Light, take it away with a synopsis.
Excellent. Synopsis of The Long Game. Well, as you'll soon learn, I think relatively nothing happens in this episode. They show up on a space station, and then they, I was handed something that synopsisizes it for us. In the far, far future, Satellite 5 broadcasts to the entire Earth Empire. Nothing escapes the eye of the sinister editor, and the Doctor suspects mankind is being manipulated. So, they show up on this spaceship that is all swirly, and a white famous guy... Swirly. And a white famous guy is controlling the entire human race via the news. Really interesting little tidbit. So they...
Because that would never happen.
No.
Since when is that a thing?
This was Fox Satellite 5, apparently. And they... Whoa.
Shots fired.
So they figure out that there's issues, basically, with the world. And the Doctor's like, oh my goodness, mankind has been set back a ton because they're being controlled by this news station. So they go to floor 500, the magical land where the walls are made of gold.
That's the only description.
There's
that
Willy
anyone
Wonka
has.
somewhere up there, and they find a bunch of bodies, and then they find a Jagrafist, which he references in other places, I believe, but is just a creature that happens to be controlling the human race. And there's a really stupid guy that happens to be along with Rose and the Doctor.
Yes.
What's his
And
name?
he screws some stuff up. His name is Adam.
Oh,
yeah, Adam.
Oh, okay. That's
Adam.
right. Adam. Yeah, he was a
Moron.
really dumb guy.
Yep. That's my summary.
Jen, have you seen this episode before? Because it was kind of spoopy.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I've seen it.
You have seen it?
Second
It was
time.
only one
Second time
spoopy.
around.
It was only one spoop.
I mean, it's just the giant fudge monster from Candyland on a ceiling and a slightly more gross. So, it's fine.
I call him the giant uvula monster.
Oh.
I called him
Uvula.
my client, the inverted carnivorous rectum.
My question is, if someone touches the giant Jagrafest, does the entire space station throw up?
That depends if he's a uvula or a rectum.
Damn near killed.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my.
Moving
sorry.
on.
You guys are
Check
just figuring
yourself.
out what you're in for with this.
So, first impressions of this episode. What are we thinking? I know I heard a couple of people say that this was a good episode before we started watching it. Like they liked this episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
For me, this isn't my favorite. I don't think enough happens to really make it an episode. They almost needed a subplot line, I think, to fill the space. It seems more like Adam seems more like a space filler than really a plot line to me.
Okay.
So, it's not bad. It just eliminates about half of the episode for me.
Yeah, I think I can see where that's coming in for this being a filler episode, because the next episode that we have is the episode with Rose's father.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is kind of a jumping off point for that episode to say, well, this is what could have happened if the past was screwed up, kind of thing. And so the next episode is, well, the past was screwed up. This is actually what happens. I could see it that way. I could see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they certainly devote a lot of time to Adam screwing everything up and then immediately jettisoning him from the series. So, I mean, he's there, and then he's a dweeb, and then they kick him out. That's about it.
Yeah.
But he's like half of this episode.
Is this the only time where the Doctor actually has access to money?
No.
No.
Plenty of
Okay.
other times.
Because I remember multiple other times it's like, oh, I don't have any money, whatever, kind of thing.
In fact, if you do remember the first time we meet Donna, the Doctor tries to, give her money to catch a cab to get back to her wedding.
That's right.
And all of a sudden he's at the ATM and the money is just flying all over the place.
That's right. That's right. Oh, if that
ATMs.
wouldn't happen in real life.
He's really good with ATMs and not so
Yeah,
good with wood.
he does make an ATM explode later to fend off the Christmas band.
That's right.
Also
I forgot
true.
about that.
Yep.
That's awesome. Awesome.
So he interacts with money, but
That's
he
what
doesn't
Donna-
always
yeah,
really
that's-
take it.
One thing that
Anyways.
stood out to me in this episode was that Rose trusts a complete stranger with not only her phone but also the TARDIS key.
Well, he's British.
Obviously, so they must have babies.
Well,
I
she
wasn't
is
going-
referring to him as her boyfriend already, or
Yeah.
at least the doctor is, and she's not really denying it. So
True.
we're not certain.
I think
how
she's
trusting
she's
she is.
interested in him. I wouldn't say, they actually are a couple, but
Well, yeah. I mean, her tongue flirting was strong in this episode.
Oh my goodness! Don't get me started.
No,
what,
please.
what is your rating
yes,
on this,
let's
Jen?
not.
What's your tongue
It was a
rating?
solid 3, mainly because it went the entire episode until that final point when she just had to sneak that in there, and it was like, oh, thanks for that.
Just reminding
tongues
you
out of
of your rating scheme.
Yeah,
That's
I
all it
know.
is.
I know.
But I will say, how could Rose not be attracted to Adam in the first place? I mean, he's British, he's cute, she's British, she's cute, and they both have had experience with alien technology.
And all
I
these
mean,
points are debatable.
That's just a match made in heaven right
British.
I think
Okay,
the
that
cute
one's
part.
not.
Did anybody else know that this is the first time that Rose changes her appearance? Her
Meaning
hair
she
is
changes
purposefully
clothes?
straightened in a different hairstyle, and she's wearing this bright red blazer.
I didn't
I
catch
noticed
that.
the blazer. I didn't notice
Yeah.
her hair.
Beforehand, she's
Fascinating.
always been in her like kind of workout grungy sweater
Yeah, her
and
like
jeans.
pink thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just dressing up for him.
I know. I did note that the zipper on her jacket, it's on the left. It's off to the side. It's not directly in the middle. I thought,
Oh,
ooh, so
goodness.
futuristic of you.
It's a fashion choice.
Fashion,
Got
fashion,
like
fashion.
the Assassin's Creed jacket or something.
Yeah, there you go. The one that you always see on Facebook for like $20. By the way, don't ever buy that.
What?
Do you have
Are you
experience that you
saying
want
it's
to tell
not
us?
No, I
quality
read the
product for
comments.
$20?
I read the comments. Everyone's like, I never got mine.
I got mine,
Oh, I
and
have a
it
friend
was
that
not
has
even
one.
the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he likes it.
Oh, I know. Like,
like-
don't they run like super small too?
Possibly, I'm
I
not.
feel like that's what
I
it
haven't
is.
interrogated him necessarily about
Oh,
his
you should
Assassin's
totally-
Creed jacket.
You should totally interrogate them.
I will.
I just thought you were going to say Victory should be naked, therefore don't buy the sweatshirt.
There you go. We do have that merchandise up right now on
Yes, we
redbubble.com.
do.
Clothes.
That say victory should be naked. Oh,
The irony is not lost.
And coffee mugs.
And coffee mugs and pillows
And
and
tote
all
bags.
A-line
sorts of
dresses.
rubbish.
So,
Really?
should
A-line
we-
dresses?
yeah.
Well, those
Jen,
aren't activated,
I know our
but they're
next
possible.
piece of clothing.
There we go.
Yep.
familiar with
An A-line dress that says victory should be naked.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Maybe not.
We could
Maybe.
comment on the heroism of Miss Suki.
Oh,
Yes,
Suki.
yes.
That was a good. I liked that.
That was
Miss
a
Suki.
very small-lived piece of story there.
Very important, however.
Does that get brought up later?
Suki?
Pretty sure. it
No,
doesn't.
like that entire revolution.
I don't think so.
No? I would think that it would.
Anarchist.
Be basically unnecessary after this episode ends.
I suppose. Okay.
She did her job. Or, well, someone did her job for her. But hey, she
Yeah.
helped.
She
There you go.
semi-consciously did her job. So, I mean, the end was her vengeance on Pale Editor Man.
That's true.
Was that her, or was that,
No, that was
the
her.
Jag?
Yeah.
I always
No,
thought
that
that
was
was the Jagrafess using his computer mind to grab her. Like, you're not going anywhere,
Well,
son.
It's
it
both.
like zoomed in on her eyes, and you could see the determination. of-
Really?
Yeah.
It just looked like flat, dead eyes to me.
That was the-
Acting.
Flat dead eyes of determination.
You thought I was sleeping. Didn't you?
You thought I
You
was
thought I
dead.
was-
Bamboozled again. So, another question that was brought up to me was, why is the medical lady tempting the guy to get the brain door chip?
Because
It-
that's what medical
makes more
professionals
money.
do.
I feel like she was trying. Well, maybe yeah, I was gonna say like, was she trying to get a quota or something of these?
She's making a sale.
second door.
Yes. And it shows that in all of these years, sales work exactly the same way.
Yeah, I suppose.
You
Yes, they
push
do
the
now.
product. because that's what you're told to do. And you either say, I'm not going to do that because I respect my clients, or you do it and make money and sell your humanity.
I suppose.
Social commentary.
Ho, ho, ho.
But anyways, yeah, she was definitely like super pushy about it.
Yeah.
I will comment that in that scene, after he's had the procedure done, why is he in a bathrobe with no pants when they operated on his head?
I was wondering that too,
delightful.
because she said it would be painless, quick, and take 10 minutes, and doesn't seem like anything should go on
Maybe
below
they
the
just
neck.
wanted him
Because
to get
guys-
comfortable.
Why
I
did
don't
he
know.
get naked?
Victory should be naked.
There was no victory there.
I mean, why are we looking at his legs? This makes no sense whatsoever. What is going on? What kind of hospital is this? Chicka bow wow.
All
It's
the-
one in a news station.
Yeah.
All the right questions right there.
News
Does anybody else use the term click of the fingers instead of snapping?
Maybe it's a British
that might be
terminology.
Is that
a British thing
I've never heard
or
that
a
before.
Euro thing.
Ooh, speaking
Yeah,
of
click
British
was-
terms,
Just click.
Just a
Click
click
of
of
the
the
fingers.
fingers.
the
Oh.
doctor's jumper was green in today's episode.
Ooh.
How significant.
All the small things.
Yep.
Has it consistently been green?
No, it changes color.
He had
Right.
sort of like a blackish, purplish,
Yes.
bluish one previously.
I know the first 2 episodes were black, but is
They
this
both?
like...
This is the
I don't
second
know.
episode in a row where he's worn a green jumper. But also, if we remember correctly, in last episode, it was 2012, which was in the future from,
According to them, yeah.
according to them, from Rose's, present time.
I did notice right away that with fashion and with quality of filming and everything that they did a much better job than the end of the world. That was my first thought. I'm like,
Yes.
man, this set is way better than
That
the end of
was
the
Although
world.
they did
almost
use-
immediately my thought.
They reused one of the sets,
Oh, yeah?
Observation deck.
the observation
Yep.
deck. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, budget.
Put a little
Time
hand thing on there.
constraints.
But
Was it?
nice.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
it was the same window.
When they looked out to the
Oh.
world, to the
window might have been the same, but the room was not.
right.
It was
The steps
vaguely.
and stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they like climbed up a
vaguely.
ladder onto a thing,
The sun
platform
filters up.
instead of.
They
whatever.
reused
But
some
yeah,
of the stuff.
And functional.
I mean, the window is CG though, so
Yeah.
Well, they already had a template.
Same
I
green
guess.
screen.
Yeah. Window full of money, as we said last time.
basically,
Jax, you're an artist.
it's
you know
green
these
for a
things.
reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I
so
slowly got that joke. Wow.
while he was in the operating table or in the recovery room, looking at his brain, they said that he was they got the vomitomatic installed.
Oh gosh.
How many people would actually get that installed? I know I would.
100%
Yes.
yes.
That's why he had
100%.
to put on a robe. That was it.
That's why. Yeah,
Oh,
Like
for
that-
the stomach.
that would make sense.
But they
it was in the
ins-
throat
it's
though.
yes,
Throat.
the throat.
I'm sure if they can cut his brains open
Who
in
knows
10
what else?
minutes, they could probably just send a robot down his throat to install these
Probably.
termites that make ice.
Nanites.
Nanites? I thought they
Nano
said termites.
things.
It'd
I
be
would hope
really
not
handy to have
termites.
vomit come
But
up
who
as an
knows
ice
what
cube,
else
though.
they installed? Maybe
An
there's-
ice cube that looks like a kiwi.
maybe there's just ice that comes out of other places too.
She seemed
Oh.
awfully surprised by that. She's looking at it, and then she like gives him this very quizzical look.
Yeah.
Like, what have you been eating?
I didn't understand
Whole
it.
fruit in your stomach.
What
Or
is
more like,
this?
why are you vomiting right now?
Yeah.
This is normal. This is every day. Oh, wait, you're from the University of Mars.
Apparently, that's
The Martian
Backwater.
boondocks. That
I
makes
definitely
sense.
would have picked a place on Earth, but
Yeah.
it's all right. He was.
he
bold
was
choice.
an idiot.
He was trying.
Bold choice.
So what else stood out to everyone else on this episode? Jax, do you have anything?
I'm trying to think of any like significant points besides little complaints about stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can
No,
use
it's
this.
mostly just small points.
You can
like-
complain. That's fine.
Well, firstly, I love Simon Pegg, so it's always nice to see him, even with frosted tips.
My people.
Pale British man.
Yeah, but that was one of my first thoughts was Adam's sitting there whining, and he's like, "Oh, everything's gone," and it's just kind of like Rose all over again in the end of the world.
Yeah.
We're here. Everything's gone. My family. It's like, have you never traveled before? That's like going to Europe and saying, "Where's my house? I wish I didn't think my house wouldn't be here." That's what traveling is.
like-
come on.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, because it's like, well, he's supposed to be this super duper genius guy. It's like, well, why don't you just not complain about not being around your family and
Yeah,
realize
just make
that you
sure
can go home after you're done here?
Yeah, just make sure you get your connecting flight back home,
Yeah.
and you don't have to worry about it.
He doesn't know how to think fourth dimensionally.
You don't even have to think fourth dimensionally. It's travel. It's 2-dimensional.
But it's in time.
Technically, it's 3-dimensional, Jax.
I know, but the concept is
Unless you're in
2-dimensional. It's
paper
from there to
mario.
there. You don't have to
Unless
go
if
up
you-
or
there you
down.
go.
You just go side to side.
That's fair.
Moose, what type of stuff did you write down?
Well, I have very few notes. I've gotten to the point where I forget to take the notes because I'm enjoying the episode so much. And
I feel like that's going to happen a lot more.
Exactly, it is. It is always going to happen, especially with me. Also because my handwriting is so bad, I don't know what I write half the time.
Oh, yeah, chicken scratch.
I write like a little 8-year-old boy. Nothing against 8-year-old boys, but man, your handwriting sucks. This episode, homeboy, Russell T. Davies. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy this episode. I think it's interesting. This is, we see how, in this particular instance, the Jagrafess, or in later episodes, we'll see, other aliens who think they're just superior, treat humans like cattle, or they treat other races like cattle. And, this is something that we still sadly do today. It's no different. Things don't change through time. Because people don't change. Humans don't change.
Except for it's a big uvula monster.
Well, yes.
Big uvula monsters don't change.
They don't change. No.
Not when they live that long.
No, what was it, 3,000 years?
Something like that.
Yeah, something
Good,
like that.
good grief, good grief. A big metabolism.
You can accomplish a lot in 3,000 years, let me tell you.
Would you know?
Well, I'm not saying that this is my first life, and I'm not saying it's my last life.
So what's your
but
second life?
Sure.
Are you...
How many mushrooms do you have?
How about a half-life?
Reincarnation.
Don't
No?
You
don't
can
bring
have
that
2
up.
half-lives, but you can't have a third.
Regeneration.
Ever. Curse you, Gabe Newell.
Or the guy that wrote Half-Life and quit Valve not too long ago? That guy?
Someone find that man. Moving back.
Anyways,
Anyways,
I do enjoy this episode. Like the others have said, I don't think, it's not a masterpiece or anything. It's not the best thing since sliced bread. Adam is given just a little bit too much screen time. I think it's interesting to see what a human does in the situation where it's his first and last time to time travel.
Oh,
And he
I would totally do that.
royally screws it up.
I would royally screw
Oh
screw
yeah,
up
no,
time travel.
definitely. Adam is every man in this instance.
What?
Every man in literature.
He's the everyman.
Just
So
like
okay.
biblical history.
Yeah. There's always that one guy that will always screw it up. Just like everyone else.
that's why his name is Adam, probably.
More than
Yeah,
likely.
It's possible.
Ooh, I like that. Yes, I like that
Clever
connection.
analogy.
I think, it brings up, the interesting principles of what people do in cases where they can have all of the information that has ever existed. And they just take that way too far. And then, guess what? They don't get it anyway. And they threw away a chance of a lifetime.
It's a better version of the 4th Indiana Jones movie,
Yes. And
basically.
also, do we see this technology again with like the person with the brain opening and the no?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think
And
so.
the information piling in, and then other people with the. Are you really?
Not in
Well, the
Doctor
doctor
Who.
did say it was wrong technology.
Yeah.
Right.
I got rid of it.
Well, yeah.
Or am I just
it was
relating
old.
this too closely to way many series later on when with like the people becoming like half Daleks and they have the stock popping out of their forehead? Is that what I'm confusing it
that's
with?
probably what you're
They might
confusing.
use even the
possibly.
same animation for it coming out of their head.
Yeah.
Right, because I have this like
thingy.
nag on the inside of me of like, man, this feels really familiar. And yes, I've seen the episode, 4 or 5 times now.
Are you saying the Daleks are behind this?
Ooh, probably not.
Probably
They're not behind everything?
They're allied
What?
with the Jagrafess.
Well,
And
They are the
That would get
Jagrafess.
it was just
The
a
Daleks
giant
are
Dalek.
everything.
they sure are fleshy enough on the inside.
Yeah.
That was just a huge Dalek. They call him Jagrafess.
Max.
Max. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. This is the Jaggerfest. His name is blah, 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 blah. I call him Max.
Yeah.
Right away, I just have to laugh because
My name is Max.
my great-grandfather was an immigrant. Like he and his parents immigrated over here to the U.S. and he was very Norwegian. And so he goes to his one-room schoolhouse, and the teacher says, "So what's your name?" And he says, "Well, my name is Trygve." And the teacher says, "That's nice. We'll call you Joe." This is a true story.
It's like my roommate in
Conformity
college.
at its best.
Yes. Very beautiful Asian name. I'm
Steve.
Steve.
And we called him Shirtless Steve.
Oh yes, shirtless Steve.
Oh my.
He was mostly shirtless.
Every
that's a
time
name
we
you have
would
to earn.
Skype,
Yeah.
he never had like clothes on. He had bottoms.
Like specifically while Skyping.
Yes, I swear.
Well, it was
Skyping
all the
shirtless
time.
Steve.
It was all the time. It was
Okay.
just she saw it only when we were Skyping.
Wow.
Segueing back to Doctor
Back to Doctor
We
Who.
all have that one. Moment.
We were talking about the whole having all this information at your fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an interesting parallel how all these citizens, these employees, have all this information at their fingertips, and yet they're thick as bricks because it just passes through their hands and they don't look at it, or literally through their heads. And they don't ask any questions or anything.
Much like
Floor 500, the walls are painted gold. Okay, yeah, great. That's not a description.
Yeah.
That tells me nothing about floor
No one
500.
ever comes back.
It's painted gold. Cool.
what happens
how-
there.
Is there food there?
Yeah. At least
Is there
donuts?
life support?
How do they
least.
know the walls are painted gold if no one ever comes back?
How do they know that there's actually a floor 500?
Because people go to floor 500.
Or
And the
do they?
elevator probably rings floor 500.
But yeah,
I really liked the theme, just like what you were talking about. Like if you had to pick, if we put the episode like completely dualistically, you've got the evil of basically news corporations, but the good in the episode, the weapon that you use to achieve victory is literally critical thinking. Like for me, that seemed like the main point if you just had to watch this one episode of Doctor Who and pick something deep out of it. I was like, they're really just promoting critical thinking defeats many kinds of evil. And I thought that was really a good point and a good thought on Davy's part.
yeah.
Books are the greatest weapon in the world.
Yeah, that's true. I think it was interesting that it took so long, 91 years, for someone to think about turning that the input back on itself. Because that's what that one lady did is she opened the portal, but then she used it against the Jaggerfest to heat up the space station. I thought it was interesting. It's like, well,
Yeah, she went from passive to active.
it took 91 years for one person to figure that out.
And a very
Well-
strong catalyst of
Yeah,
the
I
doctor.
Of the
suppose.
doctor.
And
'Cause he-
Suki was the only one who was like doing anything. And frankly, for a hardened spy and guerrilla fighter, she had a pretty pathetic death.
Yeah.
She just stands there and fires off a couple shots and then stands there and screams. It's like, no,
Plenty of time
run,
to kill the editor or
dive,
something.
Yeah,
get behind something. Don't just stand there. How's that thing gonna chase you?
but that would have given less time to Adam. And we needed as much time on Adam as possible.
I'm also
Adam should have been the one who said, "Look at me, I'm stupid."
Yeah.
Which I kind of want that on a shirt.
Our next
With
piece of
Eccleston.
merch.
Well, Jax, you're the one to make them, so you can put whatever you want to on shirts.
Eccleston's little
see.
silhouette back there.
Look at me, I'm
great.
stupid.
That was another part where they were just so ready to believe anything. Like, he doesn't even have to tell them anything. He just stands there, and they just spew all this information at him readily because they think he's...
Everyone knows.
I can
think
just
he's
see us
management.
having like one quote on a t-shirt per episode that we do. Hashtag
Great.
TTW.
How do you not know that? Look at me, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like
that's
that.
fantastic. Well, all right. I think it's time for final thoughts for the episode. My final thought for the episode was: if at first you don't succeed, get spiteful vengeance. The lady at the
Excellent.
end,
Oh.
she was spiteful.
The death glare.
You should have promoted me.
Years ago, yeah.
Even though that
Promotions.
would have
Killed
meant
you.
me dying. But still.
Yeah. That was her spiteful vengeance.
I guess.
I like
Her
it.
spikeful vengeance.
I said spiteful.
No, Spike.
Spike.
And
Is it the
Spike.
I see. I see. Good job, Jax. Went over my head.
Very nice.
Anyone else?
I really enjoyed how the doctor dealt with Adam. He didn't give a speech. He didn't do anything. He just kind of grabbed him by the scruff of the neck and said, "You're done."
Mm-hmm.
And it was really Adam's conscience that did the rest. Kind of a thing. Like, no, you can't just leave me here. And he's like, "You've done nothing."
Whoopsie.
Yeah,
Here I go.
Yeah.
Leaving you here.
Bye-bye.
that's
And
very
so-
true. Very
I don't know.
true.
I quite enjoyed how he did that. So,
Yeah.
I'm confused
Okay.
how he was going to get the information back out of the answering machine, and how the answering machine was storing the light beam of information.
Timey-wimey.
Our answering machines.
It
have
was the
power.
sound.
That's rubbish.
And because he had the thingy on his forehead, he would still be able to understand the sound.
supposedly.
I feel like the answering machine doesn't have the same outputs as the laser beam computer.
But he
So-
had Rose's cell phone, which was enhanced by the sonic screwdriver.
I'm
Did
not
she ever get
saying
that
his
back?
phone is connecting to his head. I'm saying
That's a good
the
question.
answering machine.
Theoretically,
I
she
believe
did.
Okay.
with other episodes. But
Also, the answering machine has nowhere near enough memory.
No.
But 1 second. That's all it needed. 1 second of that thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Well,
what the doctor said.
As far as answering machine and phone technology has come, flashlights and keypads definitely have not.
That's
Still just got my single incandescent bulb, 3D battery flashlight here. Just gonna sneak my way through.
find some
And it's not
bugs.
even
these
an
giant
LED.
crappy.
It's not even an LED light flashlight.
No.
It's
I
an
would say-
antique.
Ooh. There you go.
I thought the
Trendy.
weirdest part of the episode to me was when he was like, "I've got the TARDIS key," and he stinking makes it levitate.
Yeah, that
With
made no sense.
You and what army? Like, what are you? How are you doing that? You could
It
have
was
just.
the same technology as the plastic in the first episode.
Yeah. You
It's
could have done this the
suspended by the
whole
laser beam.
time. Like,
Yeah.
instead of bringing people to floor 500, just levitate them and drop them. Like, I don't know.
Very good.
It's an odd.
Moose, any final thoughts?
Well, in this episode, we learned that the brain is the greatest computer of all time. I think
Okay,
that's something
awesome.
to take home and to think about.
Think
I
about
think-
with
I
your
think
brain.
That makes
Yes.
some better
With your
computers.
brain computer.
Think about your brain with your brain.
Except
Your brain is the only organ that has named itself.
it's becoming self-aware.
Brainception.
It's true. Jen, any final thoughts?
Harkening back to what Light said earlier, I really enjoyed the fact that they called attention to the fact that humanity is being controlled by news stations, and news stations are being controlled by money.
Mm-hmm.
And just
Yeah, because
some-
the guy was from banks.
from banks,
Yeah.
and just kind of, I'm not sure how the uvula wound up on the ceiling because of banks, but it just kind of, I don't
Maybe
know.
he had a lot of money.
There's a lot of little things I could say in regards to our upcoming election about the news being controlled by money.
Yes,
But
I'm
that's all I'm going to
sure-
say.
Yes, we'll try to
That's
keep
all
this
you need
as,
to say.
Exactly.
as little
Non.
politically charged as possible.
Oh man.
Any political thing, though.
Oh,
Really, it's not even partisan. to
Yeah, no,
say,
that's very true. Yeah,
Unless-
it's all money. It's all
Money,
money.
money, money.
One more thought was, like right from the start, they sort of make you not like Adam. Like he gets there and immediately faints and is pathetic. Just classic pathetic faint.
He's more
And-
pathetic than Mickey. Or
Yeah,
Ricky.
Mickey didn't
Yeah.
even faint.
Yeah.
And then they get like towards the end of the episode and they're getting in the elevator and what's her name walks off and Catherine or whatever. And the doctor basically says, "Well, good. Screw everyone except us. I like it better this way."
Yep.
And that's before they even know that Adam's off making an ass of himself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Adam's mom's a hero as well. She's just fantastic in those 5 seconds.
Did you leave the door open? Yeah, because that sounds like something out the back door.
Is that a dog?
Is that? I was gonna say, is that a cat? Is that our cat again?
Man.
They have a dog.
Yes, the cat's on the synth board again.
Electro
That's
gypsy.
exactly what my cat's hairballs sound like.
Yeah.
Darn these 21st century cats.
Crazy new age
piano
music
cat.
or something.
Well, that's all I got.
Okay.
I think that's on that note. I think that's gonna end the episode for today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to Talktor Who. This has been Link.
Light.
Jen.
Moose.
And Jax, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Please check out our Facebook and our Patreon for more information about more episodes and how you can help us make more episodes in the future.
And if you want Victory Should Be Naked t-shirt, there should be a link on our Facebook page.
There is. There is. And I'll put it on the Patreon as well. All right. So
Cool,
until
cool.
next time, see you later.
See you around.
Bye.